What I want to talk about today is the hybrid VIP strategy. And I'll explain to you what this really means and how I've been working with VIP offers since I started my business 16 years ago. I've been working, when I started, I was doing hourly sessions, like most of you probably done at some point, and then I moved into hourly packages, and then I moved into having my first program, and then that became the VIP program, and I doubled my pricing, 4x my pricing, 6x my pricing, 10x my pricing, 20x my pricing for my VIP programs. And as I did that, I understood that I know how to really package premium experiences in a way that the clients that I worked with really valued this. It wasn't like a hard sell for them. They really wanted to do this work with me. They felt that this was valuable, that what they got from working with me really gave them something. And in the same time, I really felt that I was creating a massive impact on them. So the VIP became a big part of how I developed my first six-figure years before I had my group programs. And then as I started to combine with having a handful of VIP clients with having the group programs, it became a business that was really scalable to multiple six figures. And this type of model, depends really how big you want to go, but with a handful of one-on-one clients that are your VIPs in the group program that is scalable, the sky is not even the limit. It's up to you if you want to have it kind of simple with a couple of clients per year, maybe it's 10 to 15 clients per year with a combination of group and one-on-one, or if you just want to have one-on-one clients, which I had for many years when I started my business. And today I want to share with you all my learnings from having worked with really incredible clients in this type of VIP programs and been teaching that to many, many people. I think I worked with more than 1,000 mentors in the last 16 years, and many of them came to me to increase their pricing and learn how to charge more without feeling that they were, feeling awkward about that, or feeling that they were not over, like, how will I really give enough value? This is gonna really work. So before I start, and I will share with you, I promise you, I'll share with you everything I got in this time we have together. I want to hear for your pricing right now. A question I want to ask is, if you would put a zero in the end of what your one-on-one, what you're charging right now, what feeling comes up? What's stopping you from, let's say, 10xing your pricing right now? If you would work with someone for 60 pounds per hour, and you would instead charge 600 for a package, or if you're charging 1,000 for one-on-one package, you would charge 10,000. What would be different, and what's coming up in you? Like, what's stopping you from doing that? Let's start with that. Some of you I know in the space, you're already charging 18,000 and 10,000, 5,000. So it's not about the pricing really, but it really is more about understanding what this means for you before I share with you what it means for me to work with VIPs. Sounds impossible. It would be 10x the price of all my competitors. So I would not get any clients. Sounds impossible. People won't buy it. A package at 800 is not the same thing as 10x my price if I give 10 sessions in the package. 170,000 for 6 months feels quite something to stretch into. Scary. Yeah, so imposter syndrome, am I really worthy? So you see how much things comes up for us around pricing. Like, this pricing thing is really something that stops us from having an offer that people will actually see as valuable, because it feels like nobody will buy. I will not have any clients. I'll feel imposter. And well, the others are not charging that much. So how can I charge more? So Alicia saying wouldn't know how to provide that much value. Yeah. So let's talk about it. And my intention today is to really help you to forget about the hourly session. That would be the best thing I can tell you about today. Forget about the hourly sessions. Forget what you're charging now and see it as a separate package. And my intention is for you to see what it means more on a mindset level and more in terms of offering to work with someone one-on-one in a VIP experience in comparison to hourly session. So let's look at this a bit. VIP offers, when I talk about VIP offers, what I mean is to charge anything from 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 for what you do with the client one-to-one. It can be anything from 3 months to 6 months to a year. And why I love working with VIP clients is that, first of all, when you're building your business, as many of you are, well, all of you are, you are building something that will stay. So you're building a system. Now you're creating a group coaching program. You're putting budget into Facebook ads. You're putting budget into hiring a mentor, hiring your team. You're putting a budget into different areas of your business. You're thinking as a business owner. A business owner who is building a system-based business is not someone that is thinking just short term. Like, okay, I'm posting on social media, I'm getting a client for a hourly session. Yay, I feel better today, but it doesn't help you in the future. Someone that works with VIP offers is usually someone that is more like a business owner thinking of a system-based and scalable business. They value their time, and they also understand that they have the experience, 5, 10, 15, 20 years of experience that is valuable for the right person. So for you as a business owner, as you're growing your company and you're thinking as a business owner, meaning that you are thinking not only as someone who is a therapist, a coach, a mentor who's working in a lot of hourly sessions and delivery, you're actually stepping out and you're thinking, I'm gonna take the time to work on my business and to create the marketing, the sales, reflect on my offers, reflect on my methods. So for you to be able to create the peace that you got, either you get a part-time job, which is also amazing, or you create a way for you to work with a cash injection that gives you that spaciousness and freedom to actually build your business. So I like to think that having a couple of one-on-one clients, 3 to 5 clients, 3 to 5 is kind of a good amount, helps you to have the space in your schedule and in your life and in financially to build out the actual system to launch your group program, launch your Facebook ads, launch all the funnels, all the things that you need. That is for you. It's an incredible cash injection that easily can generate an additional 100,000 in a year, many times in the beginning, 50,000 extra, and then 100,000, depending of the price point and the positioning that you're doing. That is for you as a mentor. Now, for your clients, it is an incredible experience for the right person. Many times, the people will come to you. They might be in leadership position, business owners, someone who is more like they need some more tailor-made support, and they don't want to be in the group. They actually would love to pay you extra to be with you in one-to-one setting because they value that. I remember one of the clients that I worked with that came to me. I had a group program around how to position yourself for public speaking, like with workshop, how to sell from workshops. And she had already a business. She was generating 500,000 in her business, and she had 35 clients in her group program. She had grown really quickly, and she wanted me to help her to go international with her brand. And she told me, like, I don't have the time to go on a group program calls. I just need your focus and your strategy to help me to execute in those specific hours. So for her, the VIP program was perfect because she could just work with me and get kind of my eyes on what she wanted to do and my support. And many times you can also have a team supporting them to help her to really get what she needed. Many times I also had people coming to me who had, like, they wanted to work on their public speaking, they wanted to improve they wanted to get media trained, they wanted to help with their offers, so like really having my eyes on their strategy or overseeing their teams, helping them to really go into their companies and kind of going into their funnels, into their team management, and like because I had 16 years of experience, I can really go in as a strategist, as an advisor, and help this client. And they need that one-on-one attention. You see what I mean? And they don't want hourly session. They want you to be there for 2, 3, 6 months, 1 year, because they need that care, that focus. I want you to think for a second, just write in the chat. If you think from that perspective, what can you see already can be that added value that you can bring to your ideal buyer, your ideal client, if you think about something that you are doing right now, and maybe an audience, at least the one that you're working with or close, would really benefit from. I want to also add that it might be, if you're working more in therapy, let's say, it might be a couple who has, wants to be more like just the two of them and work with you more closely. Or if you're working with relationship between like let's say teenagers and their parents, or if you're working with someone who is more in the process, like I want your attention and care, that could be really beautiful as well, to be able to give them that space of being just with you and going through something deeper together. So the VIP is really one-to-one support. So Greg is sharing more confidentiality in the sexual mastery, go deeper and more specific. Yeah, fantastic, Greg. So really, for sure, if you have, let's say, a couple who just want to be able to have someone supporting them in their sexuality, and they want to work with you specifically, just with you one-to-one, then it feels like, okay, I can work with you, and the more like you can create experience for them. Because what it really matters here is that you are creating an experience for them that they will remember. Yeah, you're there to create an extraordinary experience for them and make it tailor-made to their journey. Even if you're working with your process, you're helping them to like go through something in 3 to 6 months. Yeah. And one thing that would also help you to do with VIP offers is to really up-level yourself. Challenge yourself to step into your next version. Even Tony Robbins has VIP clients. So Tony Robbins, I think he charges like 1 million, or I don't know if it was 1 million last time I heard him talk about it, but maybe it's even more now. Any person that has, there's any person really, most of them you can still work with them one-on-one at a much higher price. Of course, more people would like to work with them one-on-one. But they are not offering that to everyone because they cannot. We have 24 hours in a day. What I experienced is when I worked with one of my first VIP clients, it was an executive director. I was a speaker. I can tell you the story. I was a speaker in one of the biggest franchises in the world at their convention, and this executive director wanted me to work with him directly on his leadership and his communication. And I completely undercharged because it was the first time I was charging VIP, and I think I charged 3,600 euros for 3 months working with him in the corporate space. It's really like I could have charged 10, 20, maybe 30,000, but I had no idea. I was really scared. I was really excited to work with him. And we had a really great collaboration. I worked with him on his vision. I helped him to get on his dream stage. I helped him to really align his leadership and communication. And then he told me, Dari, I want to continue working with you, but I want you to double your price because I want you to really step up and become more professional. And I took it a bit like I was like, professional. I've been working for 10 years. And what do you mean professional? And he said, well, I want you to treat me like a VIP client. I want you to really have the space in your schedule for me. I know that you have a lot of things going on, but I want you to be able to be there with me and to work with me and to be able to meet me and to celebrate and to experience this with me, like as a team. And then I understood what he meant with professional. That didn't mean that I wasn't professional in my delivery, but I wasn't creating space in my mind, my presence to really be there with them. And that really shifted me, how I saw myself when I work with someone, how present I can be. If you have 5 clients per day, you cannot be present. There's already something like you have one session and then you go to the next session. to be able to be with a client and to really think, how can I create the most loving experience for this person and go deep and work with them for 3 months and create something that they love and they would love to create. I remember for this client, we flew in and we did a media training with him, and he was speaking on TEDx, and we helped him to prepare for the TEDx talk. We got him a photographer, and then we celebrated him in a beautiful dinner the night of the TEDx. It was just so beautiful. Like he will have a memory for that moment for the rest of his life. That is what it means to work with someone in that proximity. You create an experience of a lifetime for that person. So while I'm sharing this now, I would love to hear in the chat, what are you already realizing about your one-on-one and what is already shifting? Just write it in the chat. I'd like you to think as we do this, so you can already start thinking. The more you write, the more you'll be able to integrate and really use this session as an interactive session where we are working together. And if you're watching the replay, take the time to pause and think, how is this landing for you already? What is your aha? What are you realizing? What is, maybe you can write, I'm realizing that, write it in the chat. Alex is writing, ongoing support between the one-on-one physical private dance classes, maybe also attend their social dancing to assess how they dance with others live in real life situation. Wonderful. Sam is sharing, I've been so out of alignment with my one-on-one. I also give too much of my time in groups. Yeah, we're gonna talk about boundaries. Beautiful. And Sam is sharing, I realize that it's definitely a mindset change. Yeah. Jay is sharing, VIP offers do not need to have the same parameters as the group offer. Greg is sharing, I feel fear because this intimacy, my niche, and feeling imposter. I feel like the VIP experience, but then I feel this is a location based. So opening a box in my mind, but still, yeah. You can have it in person, you can have it online. I like to combine. It's really a beautiful experience. Okay, so let's go a bit deeper into this. What I like to do is when we work with our clients, we create two offers. We have the group offer, which is your signature program. Like in our case, we have a 6-figure workshop formula where we work with our clients through a very specific process. That is our method that now more than 150 clients have gone through in the last year. And it's a 3 months duration that we usually recommend that you create for your specific method, your specific framework. Price-wise, I will charge between $1,500 to $3,500 or euros or pounds in the currency that you're working. This is based on testing group programs and hosting and working with group programs for a decade. This is a good price point to work with. And group offer, if you're looking to scale, like in the beginning, you might have 8 to 12 clients that you work with, which is kind of good size. And it's in a year, if you do it, let's say 3 to 4 cohorts per year, you might end up with about, let's say 15, 20 clients that you work with in this capacity. If you want to really scale, you can go up to 200. It will require a bit more systems, a bit more team, but it's completely possible with a group offer. And it's a really scalable impact. The beautiful thing about group coaching is that you can actually take a group through a process. There is this community aspect. You can work with a team, and it's not so dependent on you. In addition to that, then you can open like the VIP offer, which is basically a couple of people, that's what I'm talking about, going through the same process that you will do in the group, but on a one-on-one setting. I like to put it into only having 2 to 3 people, two to five people max. Like usually 3 to 5 is kind of a good size in terms of how many people I work with at the same time. Currently, I haven't been having any VIP clients for the last 6 months, I think, if not more. I've been really focusing on our group, but I'm starting to open myself up to maybe having a couple of, let's say probably more 3 clients that I would work with on that level. And usually it is 2 to 3 times the group price. So let's say if you charge 1.5 for your 3 months group program, then I would recommend around 3,000 for your VIP offer. If you charge 2.5, then I would recommend 5,000, because this is your time, right? This is probably where it's going to be the biggest difference for the ones who are charging hourly sessions. If you have an offer that is 3 months and you're charging 1.5 for that, and then someone asks how much is it to work with you for like an hourly session, and you say $60 or $100, it doesn't make sense in their mind, because they don't understand why the pricing for your one-on-one time is so much lower with the group experience. So it has to start with the group being kind of the foundation of, okay, if you want to work with me, the normal path is that you and I work together in the group, and you can upgrade to VIP. If you have never done group programs and you're in this process of building that, then we would recommend to start with the VIP, having a couple of clients that you work with, get that experience of having your framework working one-on-one, and then add in a group offer. Basically, what it is that it is your time and your presence, and it's almost like you choose to work with that client one-on-one on a deeper level for 3 months. I'll talk with you exactly what it means in terms of setup and how you do it, but it's not like you're going to pay me for a package of 10 hours. I'm going to do life with you for 3 months. Like you and me, we're going to be together on this journey. Okay. Let me see. Lots of questions. That's amazing. I love that you're sharing. I'm going to go into this and we're going to see a bit more if more questions comes up. Okay. What I want you to create and what we want to focus on is that you don't want to rely on VIP clients. Like this is not going to be replacing your hourly sessions. So you have a schedule full with so many calls that you have nothing, like you have no time to build a company. I have met incredible people who managed to stop charging hourly sessions. And then they developed a VIP practice, which means that they had only one-on-one VIP clients at a higher price. Yes, they managed to create more income, maybe 250, 350,000 per year. But in the end, the freedom was not there because they had the financial freedom, but they were still stuck in sessions. They were still not able to take a month off or step away from the business. And if they were sick, if they were, they wanted to travel or they wanted to have anything else, they didn't have no time. And this is when you create the business like that, it's almost like you're stuck in this golden cage where you have a lot of money, but you have no time and nobody can do it for you because your clients want your one-on-one time. So be careful of not replacing the scalability of a group program. And this is an addition with 3 to 5 clients max at the same time that helps you, but it's not the core business. Okay, can we agree on that? We want to build a company that is scalable, that has 3 times of freedoms. Freedom of time. I want you to really have the freedom of time. You can step out for a week, a month, and just do let's say, if you just have the delivery, let's say 2 to 4 hours per week, you can just have a really slow month. If you don't want to do the sales and marketing, you can just work with the 4 hours per week, and that's enough. You see what I mean? Or if you have a week where you want to take a break, you can have a support coach coming in. Or if you want to give your clients some homework and integration, they can work with each other. Like there's so many things you can do with group programs that give you so much freedom to step out if you want to. The question I will ask myself is, if I would be away for a month, what would happen to my delivery? This is really what to think about. If you have only VIP clients, you cannot step out. So this is just a kind of a support for your business and an amazing way to work with people, but it's an addition to what you do with the group programs. So make sure that you create a business model where you have the freedom of time, which is scalable with group programs, freedom of money, and freedom of doing really what you love. Because in the end, you are doing, you're working on your creative business many hours per day. Many times you're thinking about it if you're not working on it. So you better love what you do. And to make sure that you do love what you do, you have to be completely authentic and honest with yourself that you're really working with the people that you love, doing what you love with them, no matter how much they pay you. Okay? Can we agree on that? So we don't want to create a golden cage. We want to be able to start working with a handful of VIP clients when we start our method business. But it's only in addition to what you actually are here to do. So you should really make sure to balance that. Okay? Let me go a bit into what do you actually do? Yeah? What do you actually do? As a VIP program, what does it mean to have a VIP program? It's wearing different hats. Some of you are coaches here, some of you are trainers here, some of you are facilitators. And I want you to understand that when you are working with VIP client, you might choose different hats and you need to tell them what hats you're choosing so they also understand like the diversity they will experience. You might be someone who likes to coach, and coach means that really like you're listening, you are integrating, you are there to support them with great questions, great guidance. That might be you. Might be more a therapy coach kind of style where you are more in the like exploring what they really are going through. You also might be someone who is more like a trainer, someone who says, okay, I'm going to take you through the process I take my clients through in the group, but I'm going to do it with you one-to-one. Or you might be more strategic consultant. This is something that I would do when I work with, like, say, a team, and I help them to optimize their sales. I'm help them to optimize different areas of, let's say, I'm going to give you an example. Like a consultant, I would be working, when I worked with a VIP client on helping her to do a 3 days manifestation seminar in a castle in France and overseeing the whole production with her, helping to double the ticket sales, helping with the back end, teaching her team, helping with the landing pages, copy, branding, and also training all her speakers that everything was aligned. That was kind of me stepping into as a consultant advisory role to oversee a big project. Trainer might be someone who was like my client who came in and said, I don't have time to do the group program. I was going through the same process with her in the framework I teach in the group, but just one-on-one. A mentor might be that you have, a lot of experience and someone comes in and say, I just want to learn from you in terms of leadership. Maybe how do you manage your couple? How do you manage this and that? How do you manage balance? How do you manage your health? Like it's mostly like being there to overseeing someone because you have so much lived experience, helping them through a process because of who you are, embodiment of who you are, your wisdom. So it's not so structured, but that's like you do have that credibility because of all the years of experience that you have. And the coaching is more traditional where you are, let's say, leadership coaching, or you're there to help them to really understand. I would like you to take a moment now in the chat, and if you're watching the replay, pause and think about which of those coaching hats is your like more natural that you usually do, and which one would you like to develop if you would have a VIP program. I kind of combine, for me, for instance, I'm very much into trainer, consultant, mentor. I'm less of a coach. I'm much more proactively supporting people. So probably for me, that is the part that I tend to do less in my VIP programs. So consultant, trainer, yeah, lived experience. That's kind of those three that I mostly spend my time in. How about you? Trainer, mentor. Therapist, mentor, same. Coach, trainer, mentor. I don't know yet. I guess therapeutic coach and mentor, coach, mentor, coach, mentor. Beautiful. not trainer. So Libby, for instance, for you who's a not trainer, when you have your group program and you have a process, you're probably gonna be more in the trainer, because when you have a method that you take people through and someone wants that one-on-one experience with you, you're probably gonna step more into that type of role if you choose to. Okay, beautiful. Is this helpful for you? Can you share a yes or no to see that it actually is not only one way of doing this, like it really is finding out who you are for that person, and every person might be asking for different things. Yeah, beautiful. I'm happy to hear that. Yes, yes. So fun to have some US people as well, and UK, US, Europe. Israel. Wonderful. I'm so happy to have all the world here. Beautiful. All right, let's continue. So what I really want you to do is to skip the middle. Okay, I'll repeat. If you're charging 60 euros and you say, okay, I'm gonna go up to 80 euros, or I'm gonna go up to 95, like there's a cap in how much you can charge per hour. What I want you to do is to skip increasing your hourly session and jump right to a 3 months one-on-one program. I'll give an example why this is important. I was in a retreat about 2 years ago, and there was an incredible guest speaker who came in who is a man who is very well known in the space of vibrational leadership and music, and I was very impressed by him. And I thought maybe I would like to work with him on a one-on-one setting or a group setting, and to really learn from him about how to kind of express myself more with my voice and my leadership. As I looked at his site, he was charging $250 per hour. And immediately in my mind, it took down the credibility of his 20 years of experience. Why do you think that? Why do you think I did not go ahead and work with him for $250 per hour? I was interested. I really wanted to, like, I listening to him as a guest speaker was very well known in the industry, and he was very much referenced by the host, the retreat leader. So he had all the credibility for me to go ahead and work with him. But something stopped me from working with him for $250 per hour. What do you think that is? Write it in the chat or think about it at home. What I can add to you is that if he would have charged 1.5 or 3,000 for his one-on-one, I would probably be more interested. Too cheap? He felt too available. If he undercharged, means that he probably won't encourage the client either. We don't allow. I'll tell you why. For me, I don't want 1 hour of him, because what I'm thinking is, what can you do in 1 hour? Yeah, okay, you're charging 250, but I don't need an hour of you. I want you to be with me and take me through the ups and the downs. Okay, be with me for 3 months. Be there. Be there when I go up and have my celebrations and my win. I'm having my first success with your support, with your process. Be there when I fall down, when I'm like, okay, that worked, but actually I still have to learn something. The hero's journey, if you're familiar with that, is first we meet the mentor, we want to face a challenge, we attempt, and maybe we succeed, but maybe we don't, and then we have to get up again and learn the skills and the fine tuning, and we need to go again. It's like a wave. What can you do with me if you only have 1 hour? Like, it doesn't feel like you're gonna take me through a transformation. So if you are charging, let's say 100 hour, 100, 150, 250, doesn't matter. And you're saying, well, I'm charging the most in my industry and more than anyone else. Well, if you would charge 2,500 or 3,000 instead of 250 per hour, you're probably going to have more clients because they see the value of having you with them for one-on-one support for 1, 2, 3, 6, 12 months, because they know that I will go through ups and downs and you're going to be by my side. Does this make sense? Yes or no? So many times we think it's going to be harder to sell a VIP offer, but actually it's much easier to sell a VIP journey because the outcome is much clearer for your clients than if you would sell an hourly session for a higher price. So when you work with the VIP journey, if you charge for 3 months, they know that you're there. You're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. If I were work with him for 250 for an hour, and then I'm like, okay, that's done. And let's say that he's not effective. And I will feel like, okay, that was great. I paid him $250, but nothing happened. That's shit, right? Or worse, what if he's as effective as I imagined? And I actually open something in myself, and I open a part of myself. I experience a transformation in 1 hour. Then I feel like I'm left behind because I have no one to talk with. I only had 1 hour with him. You see what I mean? So if I know that I'm actually not going to have this person helping me when I go through the transformation, if it's really good, I'm afraid that there's going to be no integration. So therefore, I close myself down to his gifts because I don't feel that he can hold me after. So that even if he's really powerful, I will not allow myself to go to the part of myself that can open to feel safe enough to open to transformation. So therefore, I step back and I don't go all in, even if I pay him. So no matter what, the experience will not be full like it would have been if I would be in a VIP journey. Because if he's really powerful and I go in from the first session and then he's like, wow, we opened something, anything that came up in terms of my internal journey, my external, I'm there for that. And he's there for that. And we can go on this journey. I'm like, okay, I know that you're going to be here for 3 months. You're not going anywhere. So I can open myself and embrace the transformation. This is why your VIP clients will have much more success than if you would give them hourly sessions. Okay. I want to hear in the chat, how is this landing? I'm this, I like to call it the snuggle blanket. Maybe you've heard me talk about it. Like the hourly sessions, like the snuggle blanket, feels safe, but it doesn't help because it's much harder to sell hourly session at a higher price than to sell a VIP journey, even on the lower price of 1,500. Greg is saying, sounds simple. I like the way you remove obstacles. It's really that simple, Greg, really. When it comes to understanding to what people actually want and to understand how much more we can support our clients. Honestly, yes, it's great to add another 100K to your year, but in the end, you're going to give a bigger support to the clients who are ready for this if you work with them one-on-one like this. Antonia saying, really helpful. I struggle so much on value per hour and don't like valuing or limiting myself per hour. Love this idea of thinking about the support and journey and feeling comfortable charging more. Yes. I would take off like every client I speak with. The first thing we do is that we start to work with programs, not hours. We are not selling hours. We are selling a transformation. So the first thing I want you to remember is when you start charging more, you might feel like, oh my God, that person just paid me 5,000 or that person just paid me 10,000. Let me give them everything. Like they just gave so much. And that's what I did in the first time I did it. I was so scared when I saw charged 3,600 to this executive director. For him, it was like a joke. But for me, it was the craziest, like first VIP client. I was so over delivering. I would sit and meditate 1 hour before going on the call with him. I would prepare myself. I would give him so much information. I would just like go, go, go. And I was overwhelming this guy because I wanted to really give more because I thought that's what I need to do. I need to give him more information. I need to give him more tools. It's almost like we become this, like, like this person is like, hey, do you need some support? I can answer the phone. Yes, of course I can answer on Sundays. Of course I can help you with this. It's because they feel that we are not worthy of them paying us so much money. Can you relate to this? Yes or no? That's the fear. That's the fear that we will just like overgive because we don't feel worthy of the money. So we end up just like being this working really, really hard. And I did that in the beginning, like 10 years ago when I started VIP programs. I was just over giving, but not from a good place. I was like doing everything for that client. That's not what they're looking for. What they want from you is your presence. Remember that. They don't want more information. Like my client, I learned so much from my VIP clients. This client I helped to go international as a speaker, who came to me. She was a 500,000. I think she went to 3 million the following year. I don't remember the numbers. Doesn't matter, but she was really growing really quickly. She didn't have time for more information. She had 2 hours with me to work on this part of herself, that part of her being internationally global, thought leader in her space, going for international market. She came to me with a focus and she wanted my full presence. I had to be there and I had to deliver on presence what is valuable for her in that moment. So I had to think with my strategic mind, with all my years of experience, how can I help her in that session to do something that will really create the impact? This is the same thing. I had this client coming to me. She was having a PR company and she came to work with me and she was having a hard time with sales. She had 90% of her sales calls were not converting. And one of the big things for me was like, try to figure out what's wrong with her sales. I was looking at her branding. It was amazing. She was working with some top industry leaders. You all know the people that she worked with. Like she had the reputation, she had the results, she had the experience, and something was not working. So I had to kind of dig myself into like thinking for her. That was what I was doing. I was not giving her more information or like read all my courses, read all my books, but I was thinking for her, what is going on? How can I help her to fix that? And I realized that her sales calls were not really structured. So we had to practice that and we turned it around. 2 years later, she came back. She had 16 members. I helped her to grow with the team as well. But my goal there was really to help her to tap into the part of her that was blocking sales because she never learned to really do sales. She learned to do other things like PR. So when I work with VIP clients, like what I'm doing for them is I'm thinking for them. You see what I mean here? I'm not giving them information. I have the information. I have my 16 years of experience. And then I can go in. I'm like, okay, this is what you need. Like based on the vision, which is the first thing I do with all the clients, based on your vision, based on the goal we have together, this is what you need to do to shift this around. And sometimes it's like just crazy ideas. This is why you need to have space, because many times most ideas come to me when I'm like, when I lived in Asia, I will go for a massage. I will like have this like aha moment. Oh, this client needs that. Where I will go for a walk, or I will go have time to meditate, and I'll just like be with myself. And then the idea will come and it will click. So I needed to integrate. This is why you need the time and spaciousness to be with them. And I remember I had this really beautiful client that was working with me. And I remember when we were working with her, she had these issues that she was coming through and she could not break through. And we were turning it around and turning around. And she had this group program that was not scaling. She had already kind of quite many clients and it was not taking off. We were doing all the fun as well, doing all the things. And I just told her, like, listen, I just need to sit down in you. Like, I need to do whiteboard. Like, can we just meet in Barcelona half day? And I just need to draw this out, like how your mind goes sometimes when you just need to be with them and just like, I see the vision. And I sat down with her for half a day and I restructured how she was packaging the pricing, the upsells, like between the program 1 and the continuation program. And in that half day, we did 4 hours. We created an additional 20,000 in her business. Why? Because I had this moment when I just had to sit with them and look at that together and just brainstorm. That's what I usually do when I work with like one-on-one clients. So it's you thinking with them for them. You really are a team member. You're not giving them information. You're part of their team. That's how I see the VIP programs. And you're with them, available. I usually put a boundary, but Monday to Thursday, office hours, but they have access to my WhatsApp, which nobody else has. My private WhatsApp is like my WhatsApp. The only people who have access to it is my VIP clients and my family and my friends. So that is like the access they have. They are not going to ask you for a lot because they're quite, they understand the value of your time, but it kind of feels nice for them that you are there present for them to celebrate and to go through this journey together. And what I mentioned here is like the reading between the lines really is a big part of this journey of help them to read between the lines, feel what they really need, feel for them. So they don't have to do it by themselves. Many times the people will pay you for the VIP. They don't have really many people who understand the level of complexity they're experiencing. Can you relate to that with your clients? And sometimes they just don't have anyone to talk to about this. And then they need someone like you to be part of their team. Like you are their team member. You're working together on this. They're there to support them because they really need a team player who is there thinking with them and for them, so they don't have to be so heavy on them. Okay? How are we doing in terms of energy? Are you learning a lot? I promise that you're gonna learn a lot today. How is this landing? Am I here in the chat? Is it opening your mind to a new way of thinking? Super, very helpful. Amazing. Greg is sharing, enjoying simplicity, feeling VIP here. You totally are, Greg. Super cool to have you. All right, let's continue. How do we do this in terms of setup? So we talked about the mindset, the setup. Make sure that you have great audio quality. They're paying you sometimes up to 1,000 euros per hour, depending on the pricing that you do. In the beginning, maybe it's 200, 300, 500, but bring your best in terms of visual present, lighting, background. Like I have really simple, like we have, I don't think you can see it with my light, but I have like super simple lights that I can have with me. Just gives you a bit more light, nice background, well set, and the most important, having a really good audio because you're working on Zoom. And now in terms of structure, some of you were asking this. I like to do 3 to 4 months with integration weeks. So you might have an weekly session and maybe you have 1 week off. I like to do it for like 90 minutes. It's kind of nice, but you can play with that. Maybe you have 60-minute sessions, which is a bit more like quicker ones. And then you maybe have longer, like 2-hour sessions where you go really deep. But I don't like to be on Zoom for 2 hours. It just feels too long. So 60 to 90 minutes is kind of the sweet spot. You might from time to time meet in person and do like some VIP experiences, but that's kind of it. And then they record on their side. It really is not a big setup. Like you might think like you need to create a fancy setup or anything like that. Honestly, just have a really good Zoom account, really good setup, quality audio, video, good internet connection. And then the WhatsApp, I like to have a WhatsApp where they have in the descriptions, it says Monday to Thursday, office hours access. And that's about it. Honestly, you don't really need much. If you want to make it more fancy, you can have a VIP program site. In my first 6 years of working with VIP clients, I just had the Stripe payment or bank link. It really is not about the setup. It's much more about what you bring in terms of, your expertise or your experience, and that they can really feel held through the process. That's about it. But you don't sell the hours. You sell 3 months. You see, it's not how many hours you're gonna get. It's how many months are we gonna work together, and what is the transformation. And they can pay either in front or upfront, or you can have a payment option. So it might be like, let's say if you are charging 10,000 for 3 months, you might have 10,000 paid in full, or let's say 4,000 per month. That would be a bit more. So they have a payment option if they really need it, or 3,000, 3.5 or something like that. Okay, let's see. Now, it should be very simple. Like Calendly link, if you are in Mind Artist Tech, you can do it in our platform. You have a private link. They can book and schedule ahead. I usually book, I schedule my week. I kind of have my setup for the week, and then they can just schedule themselves. They can move the sessions usually 48 hours before, so I don't have too much, things moving around. They might have their own Google Drive, or they will have some type of, access. They kind of like to have a Google Drive with you, which feels very much like a going backwards, but it feels like you're in a team with them. You're working with them on the notes. They have a private Drive folder. They have a private WhatsApp group, like things like that. And I like to give them the access to the group as well. Like having a VIP experience for me, that means that they also don't have to be all alone, and they actually feel a belonging with other people. One of the most isolating things is to feel like you're doing one-on-one with just your coach and you have no group that is part of that. So being a VIP client and be able to join the groups if they want to, it really creates an enhanced experience for your VIP clients. My experience is also that the group clients are really excited to meet the VIPs. Like that has been my experience, because they feel like they're learning a lot from them, because we're going much faster when we work with them. It's an accelerated process, so they see where they are going, and it's really nice for everyone. And for the VIP clients, they really feel that they're getting extra value because they're having the sessions, they have the group, they have the program, all of that. And for sure, you need to have some type of progress tracking. So I like to have, when I start working with them, I set up a vision with them for the whole, what we're going to do together for 3 months. And every 6 weeks, we kind of have this cycle where we check in what we're going to work on together. So that's kind of how we set it up. It really is not that complicated. So we have like the 3 to 4 months, we have a welcome call. I love to do a vision with them and set up a 90 days plan and really agree on expectations, what they can expect from me. Okay, this is really important because you need to know that you have the right expectations from both sides. What's part of your, delivery, and what's part of their commitment, so they don't end up feeling like they are not making progress. Because what happens otherwise is that you work with someone one-on-one sessions, there's no tracking, there's no progress of like how are they feeling about the progress. So they feel sometimes they're paying much more than they should for not making progress. So I do make sure in the beginning that we are very clear on what is my role, what am I helping with, and what am I not helping with, and how can we plan for a measurable goal in 90 days if we're going to work for 90 days together, and what's the vision, how is this integrated with the bigger vision of what they're doing. And I like to work with 6-week cycles, because longer than that, it's just too long for them to think. But 6-week cycles help them to really plan for 6 weeks, then measure the progress and go again for 6 weeks and continue like that. And when you finish those 3 months, you can have a call and have a continuation with them to talk about another 3 months if they want to continue, or to help them to graduate with a case study. That's something that I will do. What can I tell you more about this? I told you already 3 to 5 spots. This is really what I would recommend. I like you to think of 4 days per week. So you keep 1 day free. So not being available on weekends for them, it also shows your leadership. If you say like, I'm available, let's say Monday to Thursday, office hours, you can reach me on WhatsApp. I reply within 24 hours. And I'm not coaching you, but if you need anything between the sessions, I'm available for you. And I'm usually charging 2 to 3 times the price of your group. And this is how it works together. So before we continue, I'm gonna finish up very soon. I would love to hear in the chat, what are you taking away? What are your questions? How is this landing for you? Today we covered how to think about VIP programs. If you are in our program, you have a whole training more in depth in your course area called VIP offers. And that's where you can go. And also in the AI portal, you can develop your own VIP program. And now I'd love to hear your questions and reflections. Greg is feeling excited, open my mind to it can work for intimacy and sexuality, work 100%. Let me see. I'm gonna stick around for 15 more minutes, but before I continue with the questions, I'm gonna really open up for questions. What I would like to offer you is that if you are already working with us, I see that there are some of our clients here today, then jump on the call. There are daily calls in the event sections that you can jump on. You can jump into the space and ask our team and to help you to find the course and do the AI VIP program. And also, of course, the coaching calls with me and Barak. Just jump on. We can help you how to define it with like how to combine it with your group programs. Just jump into the portal. We'll support you with this and help you to design yours. If you're not a client of ours, I would really recommend you to book a session with us. And that way we can really look at how your current one-on-one sessions are looking and how you can develop and grow your business with VIP offers and to be able to really help you to see how this can be combined with your group program and all those different things. I would recommend for you, Greg, I haven't met you before. Feel free to book in the call. Usually we do a 20 minutes mapping session first, just to really understand if this can help you, what we are doing. And if it's aligned, really it is going to be useful for you, then there's a one-on-one 60-minute session booked with me. And it's going to be really, really good to be able to go deeper and look at your specific needs and how you can scale with VIP offers and group programs next. That will be my suggestion. Let me see, let me open up for some conversations. I love being here with all of you. It's so much fun. There's so many of you here. I'm gonna stay on for another 10 to 15 minutes and answer any questions you might have. And we can get a bit more deepening on this. How do you look at what the results or satisfying experience would have to look like monthly or as the journey? AKA, how can the client know if they can get value from money? It's not about the amount of hours they get, but how they get their own motion and traction happening, yet feel good in the weeks of your presence. So if I understand it right, Pooja, I would focus on how do you create progress for them? Okay, the importance is to help them to feel that they're making progress. And the way I will do it is that in the beginning, I will put the vision. Like first thing I will do is like to help them to see the vision, where they want to be in 1 year from now, 3 years from now, and how this work is helping them to align with that. The next step I will look at will be what can you do in 90 days or 4 months in terms of progress towards that vision. And then I will break it down to 6-week cycles. And then I will write it down like, okay, this is the vision that we have. This is the 90 days goals, let's say we put together. And this is the first cycle. And I would like to put a keyword on each cycle. It can be presence. It can be confidence. It can be anything. And we're going to work on one keyword towards during this 6-week cycle that helps them to connect and to go deeper and to really explore that topic. So there is a focus. And after those 6 weeks, you check in and say, okay, how do you feel about presence? How do you feel about intimacy? How do you feel about leadership? And then you can reevaluate if you need to go again or if you want to change the cycle. So this is how I work. So there's a lot of vision, 90 days plan, progress every 6 weeks, and really write it down so they can measure themselves and check what happened in those months. Okay. If I already give private sessions and group teachings, then the VIP offer would be to teach them privately and give them private session whenever they want. So if you're already giving private sessions, but you're probably doing hourly sessions, then I will stop doing the hourly and give them 3 months. Like you work for 3 months with that person. So you're not charging per hour, you're charging per program. And it can be the same price in the beginning. You might say, like you said that you charge 120, let's say, if you do, let's say 220, let me just look at this together with you, 120 times, let's say 12, you might charge 1,440 if you will work with them for 12 sessions. So you can charge 1,500 for a program, it's the same price, but you're not charging per hour. That would be the difference. And in between that, you will have maybe some WhatsApp support that they can access you, and they can book the sessions in. We can work with a bit more in the sessions, Tamara, in the calls with us. But 100%, you can keep the same price in the beginning. Just move it into a month, 3 months offering. Yeah. So Greg, all right. I would love to brainstorm with you. Book yourself in so we can get to know each other and we can look at this. I love doing those sessions. For the ones who've done it, you know how much fun we have in them. It seems easier than I thought, feeling more inspired. Rosalba, yeah, let's go for that. You're ready. Let's go. Okay, Antonia, it's really amazing. I'm going to finish putting this up this week and start offering next week. Yes, 100%. So this is what we recommend for all our clients. First step that we do together is to launch your method workshop. That's the first thing we do. I like to launch it organically, see what comes up. It's almost like you would shake a tree, you know, and the apples will fall off. So you maybe have an email list, you maybe have some people in your network or like just looking for you to give a workshop and offer them something. So milestone number 1, we create the method workshop, we launch it organically, we sell your first VIP offer. From that VIP offer, we have ad budget, so we can put your ads together and we launch a group program. Those are the 4 steps. Okay, jump on the calls. Yes. Feels good to provide my presence and energy to someone who really wants to work. At the same time, there is also a thought in my mind, who would pay me 6 to 10,000, says Volker. I think when someone really feels my presence helps them, it can happen. Yeah. And also, you don't need to stretch yourself thin, Volker. You can start with what feels true to you. You know, your first clients, like I tell you, when I started, I think I was charging like 950. And then I had this guy I met who told me like, you are undercharging, you have to sell more. And I got this executive director and I was like, I cannot tell him 950. He will make fun of me. You know, it's like, okay, 3.6. And then I just said it and he said, yes. And I said, okay. And I did it again. And that's, you know, you grow in the confidence by having the first person saying that. What I usually recommend to our clients is like, start at and find where you are right now, Volker. 950, 1,500, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15, 20, and then you can go up. So what would be yours? Just write in the chat. I would love to hear what feels true to you for your first. Don't need to overstretch yourself. Just go for what feels really natural for you right now. A small shift and small stretch, but not too much. Alicia is saying this has been quite eliminating. I'm wondering if I should shorten my one-on-one program to 3 months from 6 months and institute the continuation for the second. Yes, 100% Alicia, go for 3 months, much easier for them to commit for 3 months. And also they will have much more progress because they're able to see the value of working with you. And they also have to see the progress. When you do 6 months, it's just too long. So they don't see how much they have made progress in those months. It's much better to recommit, even for their results. They're going to have better results if they commit for 3 months. How much do you charge, Alicia, for the 3 months or 6 months? Tamara is saying I'm giving her first session on Monday, so I can tell her that it's a way to see if you want to work together in a deeper way. Yeah, Tamara, and offer her 1.5 to work for 3 months together. It's going to be much better. And she will have a WhatsApp support with you. You might be over-delivered slightly when you do the first 1.5 session, but it doesn't matter because you're going to get more used to working with them like this. Tamara is wonderful. Everyone, if you haven't heard my testimonial before, I highly, highly recommend you look into working with Daria and Barak. Best marketing investment I've made. We love you, Tamara. I'm so happy that you're getting so much value from working with us. We love, love, love supporting you. So yeah, Tamara, 120, great for now. Tell her that if she wants to continue, it's 1.5. You're gonna be there with her. I like to say to my VIP clients, we're gonna do life together. I'm gonna be by your side and I'm gonna take you, we're gonna go much deeper. I wanna be there for the ups and the downs. You have access to my WhatsApp Monday to Thursday, office hours. You can book in your calls whenever you want. If I have a group program and any trainings, you have access to everything. I'm here with you. They're gonna love it. Okay, 3333. Pooja is saying, my tip to everyone is don't go for a year one-on-one with someone. No, 100%. Give a great extension. Yes. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Don't go into 1 year. Start with 90 days. 5K for 6 months. Yeah, I think it's good to charge even, 2 point, like maybe 3K for 3 months, or even four, like find the price that feels true to you. And yeah, I think this is something I would love to look at what you have going on, Alicia. It would be very good to dive into. Sometimes, many times, I have people coming to us who went really too high too quick, and they're not selling their VIP offers. So this is not a question about selling the highest price, it's finding that sweet spot between you and them. Does it make sense? So if you're charging 5K selling easily, maybe try to put it down to 4 months instead of 6 months. All right, Jason, I think it was very helpful. Wonderful. So this would be my first paid VIP hourly rates consulting, 1,500 group program, and 3,000 for one-on-one. Yeah, amazing. All right, everyone. I think we are good to go. Okay. All right, everyone. Let's finish here. I am so ready. If you're not in the program, do it. Pooja, we love you. We love all our clients. We love all our members. We love all of you in the community. Thank you for being here with me. It has been so much fun. I'm going to put the replay up for all of you. If you haven't booked a call with us yet, do make sure to chat with us and our team. And I look forward to continuing this journey with us, with all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful evening ahead.